Here's another project I've actually just got done recently altogether. Story behind this is I found this on eBay for about 40 bucks, which is actually a really good price for this system, but it was listed as untested, non-working. I think he said he just didn't know if it worked. He had no way to test it for sure, didn't know how to test it, etc., etc. So I bought it for like $40, and the story was he shipped it to me in a HP printer box and with just a bunch of styrofoam, and it was totally packed like crap. Like, he literally put it in this. Take it for granted, this is like a 10-pound machine. Yeah, I'll show you in a second, but he packed it like crap. He just threw it in there with the styrofoam and just let it jiggle, and it broke. A bunch of plastic pieces broke all over the place. It got dented. You know, it was just a travesty. So I ended up contacting him through eBay, and he's like, "Oh, you know, it's no big deal. I'll just file a UPS claim," and he did, and I ended up just getting everything for free. I mean, whatever, what are you gonna do? It's just the way it happened, and I ended up getting this, and I know it's not that exciting, but it is a Philips CDI, the first model CDI 910, and yeah, it's really a CDI. It's huge. These things are monstrous. And yeah, there's not a lot of support out there for the CDI, and you wonder why, just because the games are just awful. And it came with all those interactive games there, and none really that rare or obscure. It's just a bunch of like kids games, like Mother Goose Hidden Pictures and Richard Scarry's Best Neighbor. That game is awesome if you grew up in the 90s though, so I can't give that crap. Beauty and the Beast, all that, just those stupid like little interactive games. Comes with the system, those, and the presentation mouse. And oh my god, when I got these, it was so awful. It came out of like a smoker's house. It didn't even have a battery backing. This is actually like a battery backing I took from some random remote. I just kind of cut it down. Yeah, you can still see like all the sludge and stuff that was left behind from this smoker's house, and that's after being cleaned and oiled and buffed and all sorts of crap. But I mean, it works. I mean, yeah, and the problem with this is I actually had a lot of trouble with this because there wasn't a whole lot of support for this, and I ended up opening it up and checking out the insides, and I went near the power supply because first time I tried to turn on and nothing. So I did the most common thing, and I just replaced the fuse, and that just blew up right away. So I was like, oh, well, it must be a transistor or something like that. Replaced the transistors, and it didn't blow up, but it still wouldn't power on. So I did a little more research. There was just nothing on here, so I was pretty much on my own, and I ended up tracking it down to, I believe there was one capacitor that was really bad, and all that. But god, I was almost like just giving up with this. I ended up actually at one time getting so frustrated I just threw the power supply in the garbage can, and I came back to it the next day later. I was like, I just can't give up on this. I got the thing for free, so I might as well try. And there's just no pinouts, no voltages. Like, I couldn't just hook up some random power supply to this to try and get it to work. So but no, I did end up getting working. I just spent a little bit more money on parts than I could. I probably spent like 25 bucks on parts. I mean, I got it for free, so what am I complaining? But I did get it to work, and I did have some trouble. I had trouble in the power supply. I got that fixed, and then I had trouble with the screen. The screen kept flickering on and off, and I just resoldered the crap out of all the connections there. They're all dim and dull, and this just thing, like, it's covered up pretty well right now, but it is, I wouldn't call it in excellent condition. It's a little rough on some parts. It's a little rusty, and I mean, just dimmed out over the years, because this is metal. I mean, all this stuff is metal. I mean, obviously this is plastic, but the whole casing's metal and stuff like that, and the tray didn't open up because the rubber band was too, or the rubber thing was dry and cracked, so I just replaced it with a rubber band. But it does turn on. You get the nice little CDI screen and it loads up. And the timekeeper battery was dead on this thing too, and that was a whole mess of fun. That was just awful. And you literally had to I literally took a Dremel to the chip to get to the little positive and negative terminals on it and soldered up like a little button cell battery, and I got that to work, and I got the remote working right here, and you can see that the memory is actually working. So there's the Lucky Luke and Hotel Mario, and yeah, and I guess the programmers didn't program the memory right, because it says 1912 there, and you see that. And we'll go over to the OK, go to settings, and oh look, it says 2012 up there, huh? Yeah, just I guess they left that out in the program. I don't blame them. I mean, this thing isn't the greatest machine in the world, but I mean, if you look into them, these older ones are worth quite a lot of money. They're around 100, 150 to get an actual working one, and I mean, I have the remote. God, I wish I had a controller, but I mean, this does work for games. We'll load up a game real quick. We'll load up actually one of the games I got with it, and that's Little Devil. Yeah, Little Devil. It's a demonstration, not for resale, and trust me, it's not worth anything. I think it's even less than the actual real game. Give that a go. As you see, it's booting up just fine. Surprisingly, the laser didn't need any tweaking or anything at all, which was great, because I really did not want to. I only wanted to put so much effort in this thing. I mean, it's so awful by it is, but as you can see, it's working great. And that guy has some weird looking nipples. But yeah, not much more can be said about this. It is a working CDI. It was saved from the scrapyard, I guess, and it's technically free, I mean, if you really think about it, but it's working great. I mean, I have burned a couple CDI games because, God, you can't find them anywhere, and when you do find the actual good games, they're so expensive. But, yeah, that's my CDI, and thanks for watching.